So part 3 of using Vizcom and focusing on the Sneakerlab challenge and doing a trainer. And what I've done is I've jumped into one of my drawings here. I have clicked on 3 dots at the side and I said generate a 3D model. And then as you can see here, I have the 3D model here. It goes on as a layer on its own. You can rotate it, you can change the size. This one looks a little bit better than the last one I've done in the first video in this series. And I've got a 3D object. You can then use this to draw around, which is quite handy. But how do we get it so then we can do other cool things with it? The export button here, and you'll notice it's got the wee lightning here. If I press export in here, it'll say, no, you need to have a premium account. So that's the only catch for us for getting a premium account to then be able to export it. If you don't have a premium account, then we won't be able to export the 3D model, but there are ways we'll be able to share it. So the last bit that I wanted to add, with your designs on the Sneakerlab, you can press the share button here, and you can download your images or your videos if you've got a pro account. As all the options here. The share button though is this file is linked, and you can see link sharing it's turned off. So I can turn that on, and then I can copy the link and share that link with anyone. What I'd ask is if you're able to share the link, we can get that so that everyone taking part in this challenge will be able to access the drawings, and we can see the story of your design process that you've went through on Vizcom. So that would be amazing to be able to get to see how you've done it, what you've worked through, what's the iterations and the story of that particular design. That's all the steps now for getting you started, get you going on Vizcom, having a play, experiment, try different things. You can, and one thing I didn't mention in the renders, press the render tools to use different techniques. So realistic products, for example, instead of general, will give you quite different. Technicolor is one of my favorites for just like really getting punchy colors. But experiment. Try different things, see how it looks, see what happens when you press on a particular one, and then just for ease, just so you can see if I change it to Technicolor, and then I say, right, I'd really like this trailer, but press generate, you will notice how it will render in quite different color scheme, and that's just showing you a different AI model render in a slightly different way, so you can view it and it might inspire an idea or a thought or a material, or it might link back to one of your materials that you've identified earlier in the project to say, wow, like, you know, that looks very video game-ish, but it's interesting how it's got the gradient colors. What could I do with that? What would I want to accept that? And again, you can always press add, then come off there, and then it's always going to be there. And if you don't like it, you can just go, whoop, it's gone, it's not there anymore for your colors. So that would be the steps to get the export. With a pro account, the only difference you get is it will come up and say export as, and we want to export as an OBJ file, .obj. And then once you've got that, we'll be able to share them afterwards, upload them up to Gravity Sketch, and then once they're on Gravity Sketch, we can then view these in 3D and get them in a show space that everyone around the world can jump in and view. Thanks for taking the time to watch the videos.